our connection to Farmlands, it was sort of automatic because our two next door neighbours started Farmlands. We're all farmers on Glengarry Road, which is sort of up Taupo Road and off to the left. And Tom Cranswick, the late Tom Cranswick and the late Max Dedenne, I think were chairman and secretary of the local Federated Farmers branch. Well, Max had a previous life in farm merchandise, and Tom was actually a school teacher before he went to the war in the army and became a captain. But these two guys were leaders, and they decided to set up a cooperative of their own. And so the East Coast Trading Society, or whatever it was called at the time, was set up, and they are account number 1 and number 2. And then Dad came in about probably the second echelon at number 31.
So I believe my father-in-law attended the meeting at the East Hall when the farmers got together and decided to do something, I guess grouping together and trying to get better deals and work out a way to help each other. So yeah.
So Dad went, he knew the meeting was on, so he came to the meeting at Estdale, and he was a good loyal Williams & Kettle's client and was a little bit apprehensive about joining Farmlands, but thought about it for 3 days and thought, nah, I'm going to do it anyway. They were quite brave when they set it up because the other companies had quite a stranglehold over them as far as, having to deal through them. And the dissatisfaction they had with that was one of the things that drove them to actually form their own company. And I think they were quite brave for doing it, and it was very successful. So
mostly they have stuck to the knitting, and their aim was to provide merchandise at a reduced cost that we can afford, and just leave a bit more money in our pockets. And they've done exactly that. Of course, the first depot for Farmlands was in the Federated Farmers office in Queen Street in Hastings, and they had a supply of drench, and it was really drench and fence posts and super and top dressing.
Certainly in the old shop that was just a corrugated iron building, you had to back up to the door to pick up your drench, and there was probably only 2 people in the shop.
First feeling is of pride, actually. Very proud of Farmlands. A great feeling of ownership, and which is something you get in a cooperative, and there's a sense of family. I don't know whether people feel like that in all the subsequent branches where people have got 5 and 6 figure numbers, but right here in Napier and Hastings, it's pretty much family.
There's just lately been so much that we've faced it's out of our control that those relationships are just, even so much more important. And yeah, they've definitely been there for us. A company that's just proactively out there and just doing everything they can to help you,
Well, the qualities that are still there are the stars. You go in there and they recognise those guys that come from the families that had the foresight to set it up. They always remember your name, put it that way.
Hawke's Bay people are proud Hawke's Bay people, so this is where it all started, and the idea they had was amazing, and they pulled it off. So in terms of one-stop shop and advice and fit for purpose. There's the drive-through area when you've got your trailer on and everything you need's there. Right next door is the store. I was really impressed with how all that was laid out, what they were stocking.
Trust and a sense of belonging.
Been there, even right from my father's time to us, now to Andrew, that's it's great.
They're a very important part of Napier and Hastings in New Zealand.
Very pertinent today as it was created by farmers for farmers, and that's definitely what they've carried through right to this day.